Welcome to the USATF Journey to Gold Zone podcast. I'm Amy Begley.
I'm your co-host, Wallace Spelling Jr.
And we're here with a special guest who rewrote the NCAA record books last year, not only shattering the 3,000 meter, but the mile records. Ethan Strand.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Welcome, man.
And he went to UNC, University of North Carolina, and he has done an amazing job transitioning from the collegiate world to the pro world. But even as a collegian, you are already setting records, you're already doing amazing things. But even post-collegiately now, you signed with the Nike Swish team. But last year, you won the mile at Pre-Classic, qualified for Tokyo, and now your second team. Most pros do not do all of that in their first year, and you have just shattered all expectations. Are you breaking your own expectations?
Yeah, I think it's all leading up to obviously big goals. I've set big goals for myself, and I feel like these are steps that I've placed along the way. And qualifying for teams and getting race experience, getting international race experience is all part of the process. And yeah, I'm building towards something a little bigger.
You are bigger, definitely.
Yeah.
So where did these big goals come from? I mean, your parents were NCAA athletes.
Yep.
So did they kind of get you into running? How did this start?
Yeah, it goes back a long way. My parents both ran. My dad's part owner of a running store, and I feel like that's kind of where my journey starts. He was still racing when I was growing up, and I was always at the store, always surrounded by running. And it just kind of happened naturally that, the store would host runs, and I would want to get in and run the mile fun run, and I won. And then I was like, okay, I want to do another one. And then I would get beat, and I'm like, okay, that's not any fun. I want to try to win again. And it just kind of spiraled. And eventually once I got to middle school and was actually able to really compete for a team, it took off from there. So yeah, I'd say, started in my dad's running shop and then went from there.
So some of our listeners who don't know, what events did your parents participate in?
My dad ran the 3K steeplechase. Mom ran 5K. So my dad was 6 in the trials in 2000, I believe, in Atlanta. I think that's when that was. And then he ended up transitioning to the marathon as he got older.
Nice. Absolutely. In this running story, I'll go ahead and break a story. Typically, I have a little information about some of these athletes, but my experience, this man was describing the shoe, the tech, the drop. I've never heard an athlete talk about a shoe like this. Come to find out, your parents had a running store, which makes a lot of sense. But you don't just look at shoes like a regular athlete. Like, you break this stuff down and you know what's coming up. Like, you have a passion for shoes, I'm assuming, as well. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I feel like, especially now that I'm, a bit more involved with Nike in particular, Nike's innovation department is incredible. They're always looking, they have plans 10 years down the line. And now that I'm a little closer to that, it's super cool. Just because running and running shoes is something I've always had a passion for. The track shack where my dad's shop where I grew up, I was always, when a rep would come in to show off the new line for the next year, was always in the store, trying on the new stuff, getting a feel for it. So yeah, I guess, my passion for running shoes also makes the sport more fun. The local running communities that are around a lot of these small stores are super close-knit and they're super fun. They make the sport of running fun, and they actually make the sport of running small. It's like you meet so many cool people at these events and at these stores. And yeah, I guess my love for the shoes actually, it makes running more fun. And like when I try something new, when I put on a new shoe and I get out the door and go for a run in it, I actually enjoy that run more than I would have otherwise. So
that's awesome, actually.
The community of running is definitely one of the best parts about our sport, I think, is it's not just the elite athletes, but you probably got to experience the entire community and they got to watch you being from the little one that won the mile, and now you're making world teams. That's pretty cool for the community to be able to see.
Yeah, I hope that the Birmingham running community is proud of me. So I'm gonna keep doing my best to keep running well.
Big dog like Clifford now.
Oh, I love that. Aw. Speaking of community, you went to University of North Carolina, and Milton Berg was your coach. Do you still keep in touch with him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be here without him. I think he's a super important part of my running journey. And when I look back at getting recruited by him, he was one of the only coaches that from the gun was talking about a pro career and was talking about winning medals. a lot of these coaches, the NCAA is important to them, and they want you to be as good as you can for them at that specific school. And one of my first conversations with Milt, he was like, "Look, how good do you want to be?" And I told him what my aspirations were, and he was like, "Okay, we can do that. Like, this is going to be a 10-year long plan. You're going to run really well for me at North Carolina, and then you're going to go on and have a long pro career." And immediately that jumped out at me. I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, it fits with my goals already. So he planned that out really well. And obviously I still have a lot of room to grow thanks to him. So
those are the best coaches to have.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So he helped you. So you already had big goals before you got there.
Yeah.
Right. And he just was like, all right, let's go.
I think those goals probably made him want me even more. I hope that he heard me talking and didn't think I was just saying it. I hope he believed me a little bit, which he obviously did. But I think the goals maybe made him recruit me a little harder.
And make you work for it. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. So you moved then. So grew up in Alabama, UNC. Now you made the big move, the big pro move to Flagstaff.
Yep.
But you had one of your teammates come with you, so that was
Yep.
good.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about this transition, because transitioning your first year to pro is not easy, but you're making it look easy.
I'd say the transition I had was super smooth. I got almost I guess the transition from sea level to altitude is hard in its own right. Everything at altitude is just a little bit more difficult, especially when you're running a lot. But Mike Smith handled that transition extremely well. And also this summer leading into USA's, I spent 6 weeks at Parker's house, and he lives in Denver. So it was it was 5,000 feet. So it was kind of a good, transition, because Flag's at 7, sea level 5 to 7. So it was a good transition there, and I got a little bit of experience of what altitude might feel like. And then also, the two coaches, Coach Milt and then Coach Mike, super close. And so that they talk a lot. And they together, I think they worked on me and Parker's transition and have made it pretty seamless. So, those two have made the transition easy. And then now that I'm full time with Mike, I love working with him.
That's great. I wondered, because you and Parker were both winning cross country.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have been a really cool experience.
Yeah, I think it was. I know UNC posted some things on their social media, so it's really cool to see that they're still looking after us. And but yeah, those Coach Milt, I know he was proud of us after that. So
That's awesome. So I want to hear a little bit about this training group I keep hearing about, if you don't mind.
Oh, let's go.
So just for the people who don't know, who's in the training group?
All right, so you have me, you have Parker Wolf, you have Liam Murphy,
Dog,
Abdi Hamid Nur,
Monster,
Nico Young,
Beast,
Luis Grijalva,
Savage,
Theo Quacks,
Right.
Donovan Brazier. We got a whole crew there. Woody Kincaid. So it's there's a lot of us, and we train really well together.
What's that like, though? I mean, from Sprinter's perspective, that many elite athletes in one place is the literal recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
But you all make it work. So
Yeah, I think Mike does a good job of also splitting us up. So obviously some of us can work out harder. Some of us run harder every day. I think it's also you need to kind of let your ego go sometimes in training, because almost need to have an on and off switch. It's like when I race, you got to have the switch on. When everybody races, you got to have the switch on. But if you're in a training group with a bunch of really good people, sometimes you need to be able to turn the switch off and let yourself get dropped, let yourself run easy on days where other people are running harder. And then Mike does a really good job in the actual workouts, splitting us up and individualizing training.
And that's awesome. You said running every day, and that's something that you do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I take Sundays off every week. So I'm on a 6-day-a-week schedule. So those Sundays off is something new that Coach Milt added last year. And we've continued doing it with Mike. So.
Amy, so in my house where I live, if you walked into my house, first thing you'd see TV, kitchen, couch. But if I walked in your house in the living room, I might find a treadmill.
Yeah, you walk in my front door, you look to the left, there's this little space where we had a couch, we moved the couch. So we have one treadmill now. I think Parker's gonna get a second one soon. So right when you walk in the house, we have treadmills.
Is this for the snow?
No, days off.
Yeah, what is the treadmill in the living room, Mike?
All right, so with Flag, this is my first time in kind of like a mountainous area. There's some winter weather, so my car is not great in the snow. Parker's car is a little better in the snow. So if there's a day that I can't get to our gym, then I have a treadmill.
Okay.
right there.
Safety.
Or if I'm too lazy in the afternoon and I just have an easy double, I can just hop on the treadmill.
You got a good treadmill, right?
It's a nice treadmill.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a nice one.
Okay, good.
But if you would like to sponsor nicer treadmill.
Nicer
If anybody
treadmill.
wants to, I got the Wahoo Kicker treadmill, so
I like it.
Wahoo's listening.
All right, there you go. I like
You
it.
need another one.
They're like
Or
two.
3. We'll take 2.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, just joking. My bad.
I like it. All right. I like the safety aspect. I'm not going to drive in the snow. I'm going to be careful. All right.
Yeah.
See? Look
You
at
know,
that.
and
You
also
do a
like when you go out and if it's snowing and I have to go outside and run, I can run from my house. I mean, I probably have the cool thing about Flagstaff is there's probably hundreds of miles of like right from my front door. I walk out my front door. I can get on soft surface in half a mile, and there's just endless trails. But if it's really snowy, I don't know if I want to be out running in the snow. It takes a little bit more out of you. So I have a treadmill. At least having the option is it takes a little bit of stress away.
Let's cut down on the injuries. Let's not run on
in
the.
the snow.
I know. I got injured running in the snow. I have to do it. No, don't do
I
it.
like shoveling. Never mind. You know what? It's not about me. Hey, okay, a few more questions for
Yes.
you, boss. What was your favorite thing about competing collegiately?
The competition, like how often you get out and race, and how fun a lot of it is. With you run cross country and you're running 2 different distances. Like I mostly run the 1500 mile, but cross country I get the opportunity to run the 8K, to run the 10K. Getting out of my comfort zone, kind of getting your butt beat is like sometimes refreshing. It's like it lets you know, like, hey, I got to get better, and you're not as good as you think you are. I think that was my favorite part of the NCAA is coming in, not knowing where I belong, but also having all these different avenues to figure out, you know, what's your specialty and what you're actually going to end up doing as a pro. And like in track, I had the opportunities to run a bunch of 5Ks, and that's something I really want to take with me to my pro career is make sure I'm obviously when the big meets are there, I'm running the event that gives me the best chance to medal. But throughout the year, kind of having fun with racing and having fun with training, running a road race, running a half marathon, running a 5K on the track, running a 10K, like those are all things that, you know, I want to do. I want to, you know, push myself and keep myself out of my comfort zone. And I think that'll, you know, help me continue to develop as an athlete as well.
And you got a short pro career, but very successful. What are some of the things you found yourself enjoying as a professional, as a young professional?
I got a lot of free time. I can play a lot of Xbox. I love it.
I didn't expect that. What do you play then?
I play Rainbow Six Siege, and then I've been playing a lot of 2K in the last few months. So that's
no Warzone, no Arc Raiders,
no. Not. I used to play Warzone during COVID. I played a lot of Warzone. I haven't tried Arc Raiders yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a lot more free time. I don't have to go to class, so I get to when I come home from practice, I eat. And my day goes like I run, I eat, I play Xbox, I go run again, I eat some more, I play more Xbox, and I go to sleep.
Oh my gosh,
you know,
it's
about it.
Crazy.
I like it.
You just said something about eating. You recently experienced, well, first and foremost, you were invited to a special program that Nike initiated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you talk about that, and then you could also speak about the food that you tried while you were there.
Yeah, first time having some A5 Wagyu. It was awesome. Any chance I get to have some more steak, I'm game. So no, this Nike program is really cool. They brought all the rookie summit. They brought all of Nike's new, you know, athletes to campus. I got to meet a ton of people that, you know, I've never really talked to before. And I think this freshman class we have at Nike is really cool. Really special.
Having way too much fun. And I saw you pop a shot and everything else that was going on. That was happening.
There's basketball. Anytime me and Parker got to get a chance to get on the basketball court out there, we took that opportunity.
That completely took over the tour, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think we had a 3-point competition. We shot 25 shots, and I think the best we shot was like 23% or something like that. So we're not very good, but you know,
it's not terrible.
You know,
for someone who doesn't.
Yeah,
that's true.
Shoot the basketball maybe like 4 times a year. But no, if anybody wants to buy me any steak, I'm on free steak. I'll take it all day.
Steaks and treadmills. We are totally on a roll with this.
We know what to do. We know what to do now. I'll let Amy get us back on track a little bit. I'm sorry.
No, I love it. You know, trying to find what to do during your free time is really hard. But you just mentioned something. You said you're trying to find, you know, where you fit when you were in college. But when you were in college, you ran the pre-classic and you won the mile and you broke the collegiate record. not only broke it,
Mhm.
but it was the third fastest of all time.
Yeah.
Like, when did that sink in? That this is what I do.
You belong.
You belong.
Yeah. I'd say cross country my senior at Olympic trials after my junior year, making the final there really kind of I showed myself that like, oh, you can compete with the best guy. If you can compete with the best guys in the U.S., you can compete with anybody in the world. That's how it works, especially on the distance side.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say the most confidence I've ever got from a race and something that really proved to me what I was doing was working and showed me what I could do in the future was NCAA cross country last year in Madison, getting top 10 there. Something I never ever thought was possible. Like I thought I could win an NCAA championship in the mile. I thought I could, break collegiate records in some of my, especially like events that I'm better at, but I never ever thought that was possible. So actually going out and doing that, I knew that the indoor season was going to be a lot of fun after that happened.
You showed your range. You were like, yes. I'm strong. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bring it on. We got this.
And I think the strength side is the most important part. It's even for 1,500 guys. Like the stronger I can get, I'm going to be able to run, 50-second pace off in a 3:30 race even. So that the strength is everything. And that's, one reason also why I took the jump and moved Flagstaff as well.
You got butt lock. You talking about 50 seconds?
50 seconds.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, having the strength on the pro side in the 1,500 with the rounds is definitely important. So tell us a little bit about making your first team with Tokyo and the lessons you learned there, what you can take into your next team, because everybody knows the first team is always the hardest. You don't know what to expect. There's so much new stuff.
Yeah.
This one, we will say people that have gone on world teams have said this was the hardest logistically in like 15 years. So, you went to one of the hardest logistics ones we've had in a really long time.
Yeah.
So what are the lessons you learned that you'll take into the next one?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say like looking back at it, I have a mix of like frustration for, not taking it as far as I wanted to, but also just I'm super, super happy with how that year went for me as a whole. Showing up to Tokyo, that's my first time out of the country. And I'd say Asia is like a completely different world. I feel like if it would have been somewhere in Europe, I might have been able to, figure some things out. But, actually, I'd say it was more of the preparation part that was hard for me is like getting there and when I'm here in the States, like I know what stores I go to. I know what I get from those stores leading into races. That's something you figure out when I'm out of the country. And so I think maybe next time, preparing a little bit or having ahead of time, a little better. And then also just making sure I'm taking advantage of those situations because they only come around once a year at most. But yeah, I'd say ahead of time, preparing a little better, making sure I have everything I need, is, I'd say the biggest lesson I learned.
Jet lag? Is that an issue?
I'd say I'm pretty good at adapting to any time zone. I think you could place me anywhere all over the world and I'd be able to sleep at nighttime. So jet lag, I'm not worried about.
So how old are you?
23.
Yeah. You bounce at that.
Yeah.
10 years in, I'm going to ask you the same question if I'm still able to be like, Ann, how's the jet lag now?
Yeah, we'll see. I might have a different answer.
You're a vet by that time. You're still a young Thundercat right now.
You'll be like, all right. Oh, we love it. All right, so those are the lessons that we're taking into it. And now we are making our second team. And did you take any of those lessons and prepare?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say also, this was the goal is like, coming into USA cross country, like obviously you can't look past the USA championships, but with that meet in particular, I was kind of like, I can train through this almost and be actually prepared and ready to go for worlds. Where we all know in the US right now, it's, if you're not ready to race 100% all in, ready to go at USA's, you're not making the team. So I think I was very, very ready to go at USA's, and then trying to keep that on for another month was a little difficult. This time we've kind of prepared specifically for this meet. So preparation wise, I'm more ready than I ever have been. So, and then, I'm in a familiar place. I've raced here twice, so I'm ready to go.
Nice. Let's get it.
So what's the difference between the cross-country course in Portland and here? What do you think? What are you going to do different on the course?
I think it's more similar than people think. Okay. It's in Portland it was muddy and it was super soft, so you were never able to stay in rhythm for very long. And here you have short sections where you're going to be able to find some rhythm, and then it's just going to get broken right after that. You're gonna get rolling, and then you're going to hit the water, or you're going to get rolling, and you're going to have to hurdle the alligators.
Right, yeah.
So it's like I think how Portland was, where you were never constantly in rhythm, being uncomfortable the whole time, actually is going to prepare Team USA really well for this course.
I'm glad you said that, because that was the goal.
Yeah.
Just in case someone's listening, not real alligators, just want to make sure y'all know.
I mean, they might crawl out of the swamp over there.
Those obstacles they're solid. So
They are.
if you hit them, you're going down.
Hold on, wait. I gotta ask this question though. What's the best shoe for these conditions?
Oh,
Nike Dragonfly.
That's your preference.
Yeah, I'm gonna race in just the normal Nike Dragonfly too.
Is everybody else typically wearing those as well, or is that your preference?
I'd say right now that's the Nike Crossbike of choice. The new Dragonfly XC that's coming out soon, maybe I think next fall, maybe. That's gonna be it's legit. So for cross country in the future, I think the Dragonfly XC is gonna take over their cross country market. But for now, yeah, just the normal Dragonfly 2 is, I feel like, what most Nike athletes will be wearing tomorrow.
Okay, sorry.
I love it, because he is our shoe guy.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the running shoe store, had the community, all this stuff. Now that you're with Nike and you get to, learn about what they're doing 10 years in advance, stuff like that. What did you study in school? And is this something that you want to continue with this whole Nike shoe design stuff? Yeah,
I mean, I studied sports management. I got a minor in data science. So it's definitely something that I'm interested in the future. I want, when I'm done running, I definitely want to stay involved in the running community in some way. So if that's, working with a brand in their footwear department, that's awesome. If it's coaching, that's, something I'm interested in as well. But yeah, definitely staying involved in the sport as much as I can is my plan for the future.
I know where Amy's going just now. My question.
Speaking of school, Wallace learned a new word recently called fartlek. And those of us in the distance community know what fartlek is. And then Ethan said he actually took a class and he got to learn the origin of it. So I want to hear more about this class that you actually took in college.
Yeah.
That taught you about fartlek, which we will explain to Wallace again in a minute.
So there's an elective. There's an elective class called History of the Olympics, and we learned all about the origin of fartlek. So it's a Swedish word, came from speed play, and then now it's fartlek.
Oh, they just say speed play. I don't get it.
It's not as fun.
Yeah, sure. Never mind. Nothing. I'm not going to incriminate myself on camera. I knew what it was. I was just testing them to see.
I love that that is a class you can take in school.
It is. It was actually enjoyable. I was actually able to pay attention in class and be happy about it.
And Wallace asked earlier, how much did you actually learn?
In that class, I mean, there's so much history about the Olympics that you would just gloss over, that we actually went into pretty good detail about. So you could kind of choose what you wanted to really focus on, whether it was honestly, most of the class was focused on track and field, which is really cool. So I feel like this professor in particular, big track and field fan. So
does everybody on the track team take this class?
No, actually, I had two teammates in there with me. It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of just everyday students. They really enjoyed it too.
Okay.
But
you seem goal oriented and you seem like you love competition. I'm gonna see if I can pull the sprinter mentality out of you. Okay. Who's someone you love to compete against? Someone maybe you watched when you were younger and you were like, I can't wait to race them and see how I line up or compare against them.
I wish I would have gotten to race Centro. I think that would have been a lot of fun, especially how they raced back then. They would let it rip the last lap, and they were able to run fast too. But I think getting into a race with him would be really cool.
And then
obviously, and I'd say one more. I wish I would have gotten to race Bernard Lagat as well. He was probably when I was growing up, I didn't really watch track very much. I like to race a lot more than I like to watch it. But when I did watch Olympics, World Championships, I was cheering for Bernard all the time. He was the guy that I cheered for.
Call him TC team captain because I made probably 9 teams and he was the team captain on 8 of them.
Yeah.
We didn't even want to run anymore. You know what? You just got it. Go ahead, big dog.
But yeah, if I could have gotten to train and race with him, that would have been awesome too.
See if I can make you plead the fifth on this one. You ready?
Yeah.
Who's someone if you raced, you're like, there's no way they're beating me?
Today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
man.
can pick the event as well. You can even choose someone in your training group. Like at this distance, I'll tear them up.
All right, I'll call them out. Abdi Hamin in the 3K. I want to see a head to head here. I got you.
All right. I like that one.
Young Abdi. I rock with you, bro, but what you don't do, man? I'll leave you alone, man.
It would have been too easy to call out Parker. We race too much.
Yeah. I like that.
That's fair. Internationally, anybody like, either motivate you or in the competitive spirit. Nothing personal, but you just want to race.
Not that I'm thinking of off the top of my head right now.
That's fair.
So we'll get there.
I used to like whenever I competed, everyone would get nervous when they race boat.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love it.
Let's see how close I can get. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, beat him and then didn't beat him after a while, but still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So you'll get there though.
We'll get there. I haven't raced internationally enough. I'm sure I'll have some people that I like competing against pretty soon. So
once again, goals. Any major championships you have your eye on? Any teams that you're looking forward to making?
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely want to try to qualify for World Indoors this year. So
let's do it, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you there.
What about, World Road, the same sense, there's going to be, so what about World Road Racing?
I love the roads. Yeah. I think the roads would be super fun. I'm kind of game for anything this year. This is it being an off year, and like, I kind of make that transition out of college where you're not racing as much, but still have the opportunity to race a little bit more, just because there's no global championship. But I'm really up for everything this year. So definitely right now, World Indoors is a go.
So World Indoors, and then April 21st you can try out for the road.
Okay.
The road champs.
And that is it's like what, like a month after World Indoors?
Yes.
Roughly? Okay.
Yeah, roughly. So it'll be April 21 in Des Moines, and then, hopefully make that team, and that is in Denmark in September.
Oh, that would be awesome.
See?
April 4th is the deadline for World Relays if you want to get on that mix 4x4.
In high school, that 4x4 was my favorite event.
See?
I loved the 4x4.
I heard that, but I want to see if it was
it was awesome.
Come up with our question.
I haven't run a 400 in a long time.
You just said you can come to a 50 seconds.
I think I could run on a split 48 low.
If you can run 50 in a distance, you can run 47, 46 for sure.
Not low about 46. Maybe 47 high at the max. I think 47 high at the max.
Or split.
On an open, I'm running 48 mid. Like standing start 48 mid.
What's the fastest 200 you run in an effort?
Oh, I've never run faster than 24. I ran running start. I ran 11 flat this summer.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Like 11:1. I think it was like 11:08, something like that. But that's my hand time too. So
you ran a 150 while you were in Tokyo. Did you hear about it?
No, I didn't.
So in Tokyo, I guess there's this thing where the staff runs 150s. So Wallace set this up, and yes, we all had to run 150s.
How was it?
It was rough.
What'd you run?
I don't remember anymore.
I do.
What I run?
24.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. What'd you think you ran?
Like 29?
No, you ran 24.
What'd you run?
24 is good.
16.
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
It was SAT as well.
Yes.
So I'll say all that to say, come watch me.
He also ran shorts because he forgot his half.
Can we race at 300?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
This summer?
Let's do it.
300?
Ooh, what about World Indoors? You can race.
No.
All right, summer.
I like my Achilles.
Summer, we'll set it up.
All right, that'd be fun.
Ask your coach if it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to report to anybody.
That's right.
Back to Renee, but they'll be all right.
I think the race I really want to run that I haven't run in years is an 800. I haven't run an open 800 in 4 years. So
what could you run in that?
Oh man, hypotheticals.
If you never do it, no one can ever say you were wrong.
That's true. No, I'll probably run one. First time out the gate, first 800 in 4 years. I think I'd probably run around 145 high.
Okay.
Wow.
146 flat.
And then if you actually dedicated and shifted your focus to the 8, what do you think?
I think I run 144.
Dang, I like this.
I don't say he can run 143. From all the experience I have of watching him, 143.
I love this.
Yeah, we'll see.
143.7.
My 800 PR is still from high school.
What is it?
151 flat.
Yeah, he's definitely smashing that first time.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, we ran. I ran an 800 at practice before Tokyo. I ran 149.30 at the end of a workout. So that was. I guess that's not. It's not really a PR. I can't consider that a PR.
I'd call it a PR.
PR is still 151.
Nah.
My brother's the fastest one in the family in the 800 right now.
Oh,
so I gotta take that back.
I can't work out PRs, but that's all right.
Last trash talking question to me. Maybe, possibly.
That's good.
I took your entire group and I put them in a race.
Mm-hmm.
What distance would be the most competitive for
everybody?
Mm-hmm.
1,200.
Who wins?
Donovan, Brazier, and me.
Who gets last?
Who gets last? Man. In a 1,200?
Who closes the door?
I can't answer that question.
Is it way back or is it like a,
He's going to get taken down to practice if he answers that question.
I can't answer
He
that.
answered it, somebody else is thinking it as well. I guarantee you, if any of his training partners see this, they probably, since they're not speaking here, somebody came to their mind the moment they heard that question.
Yeah.
I'm going to change the first question. I think 1,200 would be more like 14, like maybe a 1,500.
Okay.
I think would be closer.
And then who wins that?
I mean, I can't. Yeah, I have to answer myself.
Yes. Are you supposed to?
Yes.
I think. Yeah. No, it'd be interesting to see all of us line up at a distance one day. I'm trying to think what distance would fit Donovan the best because we have it's majority distance.
He can ride it.
And then so without Donovan, I think we all line up at 3K perfectly.
Okay.
I think 3K would be the perfect event. Throwing Donovan in there, he drops it, but
that's fair.
Yeah, just the distance guys, 3K. And I guess that race, who knows?
And Donovan Rabbits, how far can he make?
I mean, he ran 359 at the Hawaii mile. He showed up and just like, I'll run 359 today. So I think he can go mile.
All right, cool.
He can go mile.
Wow, I would love to see that race. If you all ever do it, please let us know so we can come watch.
Yeah.
Make sure Jay knows that.
Yes,
definitely.
We would definitely make that.
I'm sure we'll have a lot of us at Norris, so maybe
we'll be there.
2 miles.
Yeah, we'll be there.
We'll make it an event.
Yep.
That'll work. So where can people find you to watch you? We got Instagram. What we got?
Yeah, I really only use Instagram, so it's Ethan_Strand. It's about it. That's the only thing I'll ever post on.
You don't like Meta?
No, I've never used Facebook at all. I haven't had TikTok in like 3 years. So
all this AI stuff.
No, I thought I was like, I'm being responsible, deleting TikTok. No, I won't be scrolling, and then I just went and started scrolling Reels. So it's like that's how it works.
Reels and Xbox.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was just gonna ask you what you did in your spare time, but I think we got Reels and Xbox.
I read before bed.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I at least try to do that. I give myself a little bit of like actual thinking every day. There's a game I do like to play. It's a computer game. It's called GeoGuessr. So that's you get given a random picture. Okay. So it's a picture anywhere around the globe, and you have to kind of pinpoint where it is.
Oh wow!
So I'd say if there's any game that actually keeps me sharp, it's that one.
A logistics coordinator, Brad, he does that.
Does he? That's very good.
He's all about it. He showed it to me once. I was not good. Been everywhere, not good.
You couldn't figure it out?
It was like Malaysia or something.
Yeah, you gotta be able to like look at the type of pole and know where you are. That's how that game works.
The type of pole?
Yeah, each country uses a different type of pole. They all have different like bollards, like on the side of a road. One bollard is like a white stick with a red piece, and you got to know where in Europe you are. It's a crazy game.
Wow. Okay.
It was cool though, but I just wasn't. I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I just sucked.
Yeah. I was playing that a lot in Portland when we were on our trip. So.
Well, if you said Roblox, I thought a little differently. So, all right, I'm cool with it.
What other shout outs you want to give out while you're here?
And I'd say just shout out my teammates. Made the transition super easy. Came into a new group of people. They welcomed me and Parker and Liam in, new guys. And yeah, we're taking it, we're running with it, and everybody's super works really well together. So
that's family store.
Yeah, shout out to Track Shack always.
Is it online?
It's not online, but we do have an online website. So I've had it in my bio on Instagram for like 8 years. So you can just go to the link in my bio and you'll see the Track Shack. Sweet.
All right,
Thanks guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're out.